When there's disagreement amongst the team, they need to talk to each other. Hey there, I am Erik J. Olson. Yeah, sometimes in work, actually a lot of times in work, there's going to be some sort of a conflict between employees, right? So people on the same team, people on different teams, but what I'm talking about here is not necessarily the business leader, but people on the team that are having some sort of a conflict. And it usually has to do with how work is done. And a lot of times it's because, frankly, as the leader, it's your fault because you have not defined exactly how it's going to be done. And you just hope that people can figure it out. And there are gaps in things like your communication plan, the way that you communicate, the expectations that you set. And so there's conflict with the team. One person thinks one thing, another person thinks another. And how do they resolve it? Well, a lot of times it gets, quote, resolved by coming to you. That problem ends up becoming your problem, where one of the employees will come to you and they'll just kind of complain about the other employee. And they want you to do something, take care of it. Now, when this happens, I listen. I do listen, and I try to figure out what I need to change so that these kinds of things don't happen or don't happen as frequently. But when it comes to conflict between two other people, you have to set the expectation that they need to talk to themselves, right? You cannot get pulled into every single squabble in your company that he said this and she said that and A happened before B on this date and time. No, like, you got other things to do. That is not a good use of your time. That is not a good use of anyone's time. So first and foremost, and this is in our company policies actually, we strongly encourage employees to talk to one another before they talk to anybody else. Don't be talking behind someone's back. If you feel that this is like boiling up inside of you and you got to do something about it, you got to tell someone, tell the person that you're thinking about. All right, tell them like why they hurt your feelings, why they did something you think maybe they shouldn't have done, why it was inefficient, but express to them directly what you're feeling, what the problem is, and if you have a solution, suggest it. Right? Suggest the solution. But don't, and what you need to do is cut off the expectation by the person complaining to you that the first stop is you. First stop is they need to talk to that person. So what I encourage you to do, and what I encourage anyone who's listening to this to do, whether you're a team leader, business owner, or on a various position in a team, is ask the question, have you talked to the person that you've got a beef with? That is step number one. You have to do that. You have to try to work it out together. And I guarantee that if you are the one with the beef and you go to the person that you have a beef with, they'll listen. And if they won't listen, well, that's a big problem, and then you escalate, right? But don't immediately start to escalate by telling this person what's going on, this person what's going on, and this person what's going on, and then expect them all to fix your problem. So a lot of times when it comes to these kinds of things, it's interpersonal communication, which I'm not wonderful at. I constantly struggle with these things, right? I will break through walls to make shit happen, and I hurt people's feelings. And I know that, and so I try to back off a lot of times when I talk to people, even my own folks, even my direct reports. Like, I am most direct in my communications with my direct reports because, frankly, they're there for a reason. They can take it. They know that, like, shit gets real the closer you get to me. So, like, I'm not going to put up with a bunch of excuses. But my point is this. You have to have interpersonal communication first and foremost. And then when that fails, at that point, escalation can happen. And at that point, you as the leader should be listening to the grievances and working out a compromise one way or another. Hey there, it's Erik J. Olson. I wanted to let you know about my book, $1 Million Journey, How to Launch a 7-Figure Business. This is the story of what it took for me to go from freelancer with no clients, no employees, no revenue, to growing $1 million business. It took me 8 years and I made a lot of mistakes. And all of those mistakes, and more importantly, lessons learned, are in this book. And we have chapter takeaways, 5 to 15 takeaways that you can apply right now to your business. Check it out on Amazon, $1 Million Journey by me, Erik J. Olson.